thank you everybody for joining us today. Today we're going to be going through two things. One is there's a ton of Airtable AI announcements, and then two, there are a ton of Daretable announcements. So Daretable speakers, Daretable tickets, Daretable different opportunities for referring, different opportunities to meet up with all your favorite friends and clients there. So excited to go through all those.
With a lot of
Yeah.
exciting stuff coming up. And we haven't done a live stream or an off the record in some time, so it's good to see your face again.
Yes. Yes.
We'll go ahead and get started. We've got this broken into two sessions, like Ben said. We've got a section where we're going to talk a little bit real quick about the conference we've got coming up and how it ties into Airtable AI. And then the other thing we're going to do is actually go into AI and look at all the cool things that we've been building as a beta group. I've been a beta tester, I think, for 6 or 8 months now, and different ways you can do it with some best practices. Put your questions in the chat. If something makes you go, oh, gosh, come off mute and say, oh my gosh, I'm gonna make it work. So first off, let's just talk about Daretable. Let's just get that out of the way. So we are back. This is year number 4 for Ben and I. And we've got just a lot of exciting moments. There are some things we have kept. We still have our great keynotes. We still have our amazing speakers where we pay every single speaker. So I'd encourage you to sign up because you get paid and you get a ticket. We have more content than ever, amazing new networking opportunities, and some brand new product sponsors we are working with. But we've got some new things too. This year, for the first time, we are going to be bringing back our unconference, our meals with a very special meal I'll talk about in a second, and our live help desk and our awards. We're still using the website, but we've got 3 new focuses or 3 new areas for 2024. The first is our focuses. So what are the 2 focuses that are new this year? We've always had a beginner, an intermediate, and an advanced track. This year, we have an enterprise track just for people on business and enterprise who want to get more out of their enterprise or business use case of Airtable. And we also have a whole separate AI track. So if you just started using AI, if you haven't even touched it yet, but you want to get really involved with how to use it with AI, Airtable, that's going to be new this year. We've got a brand new location this year. We went from virtual to Austin, Texas to San Francisco to this year we are in Midtown, New York City, New York. And we've got, I'm ready for this. Are you ready? I'm so excited. We've got 18 sessions. So the most we've ever had in the past was 12 sessions. We've added 3 more sessions. We've added a new type of session. We're doing a panel. And we've got 7, we used to only have 3, 7 networking opportunities this year. So super exciting stuff. Here's a preview of the schedule. It's not on the website for Friday and our Midtown location. We'll be meeting. We'll get started early. We've got more content than ever. We're really focusing on getting those tracks and butts and seats. Not so many 2-hour, hour-long hands-on, more get stuff created and get out of there. With a networking and awards dinner. And then on Saturday, instead of having a half a day or a full day full of content, we're doing a power lunching in Central Park. So we'll be in Central Park. We'll have a small Airtable panel there. We'll have a networking where you can get together with folks. If you're a consultant or an Airtable employee and you want to get with your customers, we will have preferred seating for you to sit with your customers. And if you don't have an Airtable consultant or haven't never met Airtable, hopefully you can meet them there as well as the day before the conference. Ben, what do you think of the schedule?
I'm very excited for the schedule. I obviously played a little bit of a part in talking with different people that either attended or did not attend to get feedback on this. So I think from this schedule, but also the programming that we have planned for this year, it's going to be an awesome event.
Yeah, what's New York? I mean, we got to go big, right? The big apple.
Yeah.
Also, did I say New York? So again, for the first time, we're doing this in the fall. We usually do our event in the spring, but we really felt fall in New York after people had 3-4 months to get used to Airtable AI. A lot more people will be on business by then. We've had a lot of enterprise accounts reach out to us and want. We had someone buy 10 enterprise tickets this morning. But did I say a focus on AI? So let Ben, you talk about some Airtable AI because that's the core of what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
All right. So first off, I broke this into 3 sections. The first one is really simple because a lot of people are like AI is everywhere. Why am I hearing about AI? Airtable AI 101. So what is it? Airtable AI refers to a suite. So it's a bunch of artificial intelligence that's all over the product. It's not just from one place or a second place. And if my spidey sensors are right, we're going to see it keep crawling through the product because the AI does kind of what the seat licensing couldn't, and we'll talk about what I mean by that in a second. The AI features empower people for automating tasks, getting insights, summarizing things. There's a lot of things on their website. I'm actually going to go through some practical examples today, both for myself and for a very large enterprise I've been working with to show you how they've been doing it. Where do you find it? Well, it's been deployed, apparently. They went out a day early, even though it was released yesterday, and it's all over the news today. It's all over the app, and it's seemingly growing like a vine. The first and easiest place you'll want to find it and to use it is the long text field. I'll do a demo of this a little bit later. The next one is when you're linking to other fields, there's a way of using it to limit through AI smarts formula fields. I've actually used this a few times now. It's kind of fun. You just tell the formula what you want and it writes the formula. By the way, I wonder how consultants are feeling about all this, but consultants do more than formulas, although not really for me. And then automations, it's all over automations. Who has access? This is a big pain point, but we'll talk about more about this in a second. Teams, businesses, and enterprises. And what that means is currently the way it looks, if you're on a free plan, you can't enable this or use the free version of it. You got to be at least on the team, business, or enterprise version. I thought it would be free for everyone just to try. I was in one of my accounts that I think was on a free plan, and I went to turn it on, and it said you must upgrade to team before you can do this. So at least they have a migration path there for you. How much does it cost? Well, that's kind of complicated. Right now, it's free for those plans I talked about, team, business, and enterprise. But for everyone else, it's $6 a month per seat. And that's on top of your current pricing. I don't know how that's going to work. If you're currently on a year plan, you just get that hit all at once. If you turn it on, does it automatically add it to all your users? There's a lot of questions I have, and obviously not a whole lot of answers out there. But it's good to know. And $6, let's be honest, isn't that bad. The catch there, if you've looked, is that you get $6, you get 3,500 AI credits. So that brings up this next question: what are credits? Well, that's actually more complicated. So a credit or a token is the way that Airtable charges for your use of the AI. That AI token can be used by the amount of information you're giving AI or the amount of information AI is spitting back out at you. This hasn't been made real clear in anywhere on the site yet, but if you have an overly complex summary that you're doing, it's going to burn through more credits. If you have an overly complex request to spit something out from scratch, it's going to use more credits. The credits are built into your pricing, if you remember. $6, you get 3,500 credits. And they tell you that 3,500 credits is about 70 blog posts or 350 transactions. Again, if you have 2 seats, is that 7,000 credits? I don't know. Well, the time will tell, and we'll have people saying, I just got a credit card bill for $10,000. And I'll talk about how to try to avoid that in a second. But more importantly, what do you do if you run out of credits? Well, if you click through the little question mark on one of the sections, it shows you can buy bulk credits. This might be the way to go so that you don't accidentally burn through credits in your organization with someone setting something up. Because unlike a lot of the other things you do in Airtable, unless you burn through all of your automations, it's really hard to tell. So I think these prices are interesting. OpenAI dropped the pricing midway through the beta, so I don't know if this reflects that. I'll be honest, just continuing the wall, it seems a little inflated, but again, they're really courting enterprise customers with these credits. You can get all your questions about AI and pricing solved at airtable.com/pricing/AI. Ben, thoughts so far on pricing and credits?
I'm very happy that they have the pricing and credits options. I wish they would extend this to other areas of Airtable as well, like automations. Like when I see somebody, they reach a limit on automations and then they just can't use it anymore.
Yeah.
And then they have to email support to get it like unlocked, and then there's like a big gap. I would love to see that. I think it's fantastic for AI. I just also think it would be useful many other places in the app as well.
Does make you wonder if there couldn't be a new permissions model, something that you and I no, seriously, we don't laugh. We've been talking about this for years on our old show and at the conference. But like, could there be a new permissions model where, to your point, these things are spread out a little bit differently, hopefully, in the future? Okay, moving onward and upward in our overview before we get to the demo, because the demo is going to be super fun. You guys are going to learn lots of stuff. So again, I think for me, I almost want to go out and buy a bunch of credits right now just so I can keep using it the way I've been doing it, because a beta tester, I was using it for free. So the demo, You ready for this demo? So we've got 4 places we're going to look at in a standard demo. And then after these 4 places, just so you can see it in use, we're going to look at it in kind of real life use cases, both some personal, some really advanced ones, and some super stuff where we're actually making money using Airtable AI. That's going to blow your mind. I'm really excited about that. So for these use cases, I am going to be using my own personal base to start off with. And as you guys know, I always share way too much personal information online, right, Ben?
Yeah, I've had to edit a few videos
Yeah, you've had
before.
to edit a few videos. The first place I want to look at is this long text field. So again, you'll see here that I've got a long text field. What I've got is this is my interactions table where I have when I interact with people in my life, for my business, etc. And I put in my notes, etc. And I've got 2 long text fields here. I've got one for summarize AI interaction. How you get to this first and probably most useful place with the AI is just creating a new long text field, and you'll see you have a new option right here. When you do that, the first thing you might want to just be careful of is by default, it turns on the highest level of AI, right? So you want to downgrade that by default. When you first turn this on in a brand new field, you're going to want to come in here and say, use the AI model optimized for best results. You actually want to turn that off, or else you're going to burn through credits quicker. I think they should have done it in reverse, gave you the lesser model to play with, and then you could turn it up, but it is what it is. And it's a lot like writing an email or doing a formula or any of the other, creating documents where you just put in a little bit about what you want the system to do and you give it the field you want. So in this case, I'm asking it to just summarize the interaction that I had. So in this case, I went to see my surgeon and he went ahead and said, hey, it was a contact. You were feeling 8 out of 10. This is about your health. I'll go ahead and pull this up. And then he thinks I should have 2-3 removed instead of having the root canal, which is in a whole nother Oprah with an implant. And then and it gives me suggested follow-ups. So right away, you can start to see where if you had Airtable AI summarize something for you, it's super easy, right? Because it's all of a sudden, it's going to kind of look at your entire record or whatever you're looking at, or multiple records, we'll talk about that in a second, and give you actionable steps. And you'll see in the actual prompt that I gave it, I told it, summarize the following action, please list it in logical order, please use emojis and caps, and please give suggested follow-ups. So you're basically helping your users that are using Airtable understand what they might do with the data that's in their system. Ben, thoughts
So
on
I
this?
have a few questions as a user who hasn't used Airtable AI a ton, but had access to the beta. So Airtable AI used to be available through a standalone field called AI field, like that was
Yep,
the field type.
yep.
So is that still accessible or is it now?
It is gone. So
Okay.
you'll see now if you were in the beta, you don't even have the AI field type here anymore. And what's confusing is like, oh my gosh, where did it go? You actually have to create a new long field, and you'll see rich text, which has always been there, but now you'll see generative, and where you can do the template, which was there before, or start from scratch. I haven't done a lot of templates. I usually start from scratch, but hopefully that answers the question.
Okay. And then other question is typically with a long text field, you can edit the contents of the field. With the AI field, can you still edit it?
Yes, you can. So for example, if I wanted to come in here and add a point myself, I could just say, remember to cancel other meeting, right? So right away, I can add the text instead. The only thing you can't do in the long text fields out of AI that I wish you could is rich text. So there
Yeah.
is rich text in this field. What I'll do if I want rich text is I'll tell the AI to export it in Markdown. I'll pass the
Yeah.
mark through a Markdown editor and pass it back to a rich text field so it's in rich text. So that's the first place you'll see it. Something else I really like about the summarize field is another way I use it. So for the longest time, I summarize how I'm feeling when I deal with people so I can fire them from my life. But now my AI can go in and look at my interactions and summarize them for me. So that's really cool. If I came in here, I had an email earlier today where I was chatting with someone who's doing some legal work for me. I can come in here before I even tell it to give me a feeling. I can say, just, I've actually been using this a lot of my clients. If we have support or requests coming in, we have Airtable categorize it for sentiment and then escalate based on the priority of the feeling of the user, not on the need of the ticket. And that's really been helping my users, my bigger customers who have enterprise accounts, understand how to like actually sort through and think about the SLA. Now you'll notice it's really grinding through this AI feeling analysis right now. That's because it's going through, and this is a pretty long and complex email going back multiple, probably months right now. So it's going to go through and kind of give me a summary of where that thing is right now. So
That's
that,
been, I think, one of the most common use cases that I've seen is like categorization, whether it's
yeah,
like just giving it, here's the different options we want it to have as an output. And especially when you're taking anything from like a survey, or maybe it's a intake form, having it like do lead scoring, or having it just come up with a standard set of outcomes that like neutral, negative, positive.
yep.
That
And the other
seems to
thing
be a
is if
very
you're
common use
syncing your
case.
financial transactions in, having an automatic categorized financial transactions has been a huge win. The next place is when you're linking to other fields, believe it or not. So if you go in and actually link to another field, you now have the ability to, go ahead and do this, link in reverse order. It's always been there. Link to a selected view. That's always been there. That's one of my favorites, by the way. Filtered based on a condition. So that's kind of newer, but now we have filtered based on a condition, and actually that will use AI in a very similar fashion as the other one. There was some talk in the group about, are these two different options? Are they being rolled out different? There are two different options. One, just when you use the AI, it just kind of suggests at the top of your pick list, whereas the other one actually filtered just those out at the top. So one allows, the AI version allows users more control when they look up to a field, whereas the filter by condition literally limits the condition. Formula fields. Well, man, there's a whole lot going on with formulas. So now on formulas, you'll see down here, generate formula. So you can come in here and actually tell the generate formula and tell it exactly what you want to do. And in essence, it will look at your table, look at your request, and generate the formula for you. I'd say it's 80% of the time pretty spot on, or at least close enough for me. It does kind of what I want to do. I don't have to edit it much. There are times where I'll start a formula and then I won't get the formula quite right, and then it'll go back in and generate it and fix it. Those are good. And there's sometimes where it just totally misses. So generating formulas is super interesting. And then automations is the last place. If you're in an automation, you'll see a new action for generate with AI, where you can come in here and again, put a prompt against a series of records or against an option. Great for customized emails. If you wanted to send customized emails to your customers, have AI generate the email first and then run it against a group. Thank you emails, sign up emails, all sorts of things. I've seen this used with at least my customers in a lot of different ways. So it's kind of all over the map. Those are kind of just a real quick demo of the kind of four main places I've seen Airtable AI in practice today. What I thought I'd do if we didn't have any questions is kind of dive in to kind of some kung fu best practices that I've been using with Airtable AI to kind of give people an idea of like how to really push the limits of it.
There's two questions out. So the first one is, can AI access and interact with files in the attachment field?
It can see that there's something there, but it can't interact with what's on it.
The closest thing I suppose it could probably do is interact with the name of the attachment field in the attachment field. Because if you use a formula and reference an attachment field, it returns the name of the file.
Another place I'd love to see it use, and it wasn't until I was in a big organization that I wanted this, was AI summary in the comments. A lot of times you'll get a record with a lot of employees.
Oh, yeah.
Be genius with it there. Along with formulas, does AI help with scripts? I have not tried it with scripts. It could be there. I'm not sure. I'm going to say probably not there yet, but could be in the future. That's a really good question, Alexa.
I've heard of a lot of people using ChatGPT to generate Airtable scripts, but I
I mean,
haven't heard of it
I'm not
integrated
gonna
into the
lie.
scripting.
I have a if you have ChatGPT Pro, I have something called the Airtable Wizard. If you want to, you can't have something in ChatGPT called Airtable because Airtable doesn't like that. But I put all of my kind of kung fu and secrets on how I use Airtable. I built a GPT for it so anyone can download it. But you can't find it by typing in Airtable. You have to type in Airtable Wizard, the no-code magic for your base. And that has kind of my best practices for how to use a base, what's going on with the base. It's basically everything I think about when I'm building a system. Sorry, Ben, I should have told you I was going to plug that. It's free. You don't have to pay for it, so whatever. All right.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd walk you guys through some real life examples of where I started using this both first personally, but then secondly, where I'm using it with big enterprise customers. I'm going to show you the personal stuff first because it is so mind-bending. So I'm really excited to show this to you. As some of you know, I won an award from Airtable last year for Interface of the Year or something like that. It was like a nice prize, but more than anything, people download my app. So I have an app called Airtable, just over at Airtable.app. And what Airtable does is it allows me to come in and just to journal for my day, how much I slept. It pulls this information in from different places, the places I go, tasks I've completed. So today I'm kind of still going along. But one of the things it does is it allows me to work with, decades of information on myself. And each morning, I'm going to give you an example. I didn't do it today. You should do it before now. I get up and I tell my Airtable app to pull a tarot card for me. And after it pulls a tarot card, I can ask it to do a reading. So today's card is the Ten of Swords. Not a pretty card, by the way. This is looking very scary, painful endings, collapses, crisis, loss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the AI, you'll see here, ready to generate text, to read that card. So what it'll do is it's got a generalized knowledge of tarot in general, like what to do, how tarot works. It's also access to my journal. So what I've been working on, the people I've been talking to, the emails I've been sending. So a massive amount of information from an Airtable base is in the system. The AI assistant will go through, read through all of that, look at the tarot card, and then automatically give me a reading. At the same time, I can simultaneously ask it to help me think about what should I focus on today based on everything I've got going on in my life, my task list, my emails, the places I'm going, the bills I'm paying, etc., and what to focus on. So this is more of a kind of a fun use. But what's really cool about this is it'll go through, give me a great reading. So in this case, it's a moment of closure and realization. It'll give me some guidance. It tells me to embrace new beginnings, reflect on my journey. But it's pulling all this information from my actual life system, from my Airtable, which is kind of cool when you really think about it. It's just kind of mind-blowing. Another fun thing I did was I built a series of gods. So basically, I took all of the different gods and put them in Airtable from all the different religions all over the world. Now I can talk to these gods. I can go ahead and pull in a god. I can ask the god a question. Tell me how to make my Airtable conference a success using AI and give us a blessing. And then what the AI will do is it'll take my question here. It'll take the summoning information. Now, this is just fun stuff. I'm going to show you the enterprise stuff in a second, but I want to get your mind thinking about what's possible. Because not only does it answer these questions, but it puts them on a calendar for historical purposes. And you can then run AI against the historical calendar to find out when things have been dealt with in the past. This has been really useful in another version of it for a client where we're using it for HR questions, HR policies, HR decisions where the policies are created. But then people could submit their questions and go back and look at not only sentiment, but the questions that were asked. So again, you can see an answer came in from Artemis, the god, and helps us focus on how to make a great and amazing conference. But these are just fun, very complex AI. What about day-to-day people using AI at their company? I mean, that's really where most people want to focus when it comes to how to use AI in real life. One of my larger customers is a client in DC, and we built a system for them to manage their entire organization from their membership all the way out to their employees, to their planning, to their events. And in that system, we needed a way, because they didn't have everything, they did everything from email. We needed a way for it to go ahead and have an employee-based system. So the first thing we did in the employee-based system was we built a directory of all the employees. And then as employees send emails and create tasks, it does a real-time summary of that employee. So in this case, I'm a contractor, and then pulls in a sentiment analysis. So we know from day to day how employees are feeling and what they're focusing on. The next thing we did was we built a lot of AI tools for our employees to use. So these are little portals, we call them. They basically have a front-end form that employees use. So they might have to check in with the board, ask the board a question. The board needs to know kind of where they're at. It might be an onboarding for a new employee. It might be one of our employees needs to help a chapter get one of their meetings off the ground. A lot of people need our employees to speak. So we have a speaking system. So these portals work with AI by taking these requests or tasks that need to be done and then processing them back out to and answering the questions and then logging in the system. It's great for IT support. It's great for HR. It's absolutely amazing all the different things it can do. But we thought to ourselves, how can we expand this beyond our employees? This is great that our employees have a great dashboard where they can come in, get access to tools that help them do their jobs from day to day. But we've got members all over the United States. Is there any way we could help our members do more and maybe even make some more money? So what we did was we built a suite of apps in an app store, all built on Airtable AI. And we now have a tier of membership that we offer where our members can go in and use these apps. So if you're a member in our community and you have, you want to be able to do good social media for a meeting you have coming up, we built a media wizard. And the media wizard will do your Twitter, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your press releases, it'll write magazine articles, all from you using AI in Airtable based on the information we've given it. Or maybe you're in our community and you want to redo your bio for LinkedIn or redo your bio for a web page. We built a bio builder for our advanced members who pay extra for it. We built a landing page generator that will build AI-based landing pages for our customers. All sorts of just absolutely kind of groundbreaking things. And we put all these apps all in one big base so we can see our members using these in real time. But then we started partnering with other companies using Airtable AI, and we now offer their apps and their solutions in our app ecosystem for our company. So as you can see, the possibilities for what you can do with Airtable AI are just profound. Everything from having it summarize a field to actually building something for your employees to make their jobs easier inside of Airtable, but also outside of Airtable. If your employees have a weekly check-in, having a form do that check-in and having it help your employees guide through their tasks by pulling in their tasks from Airtable. But more importantly, I think what no one's really talking about is the absolute groundswell of absolute disruption and innovation is going to come as companies start to build on Airtable and using Airtable apps powered by AI to offer solutions to their external customers or just entrepreneurs, like a Ben Green app. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense, or it was fun. We can open it up to a lot of questions. And then I've got the last thing I want to cover today is some best practices with Airtable AI. I'll do best practice right now because there's only 4 of them and they're all on one slide. So some best practices: turn down the tokens. I said, when you first turn this on, because the tokens really burn through stuff, the formulas and stuff aren't going to use, they're free. They're not counted against you. But by default, having the version GPT-4 tokens turned on, make sure you toggle that off in your long text field. Second one, monitor usage, your usage in your admin or workspace settings. So in your workspace settings, you can see how many tokens you've used. If you've got an admin panel, you can do it there. You have to monitor your usage. It'll be with 10 employees or 2 employees or 3 Airtable users and somebody doing a really complex script, you'll burn through your 35 different credits fast. Most importantly, I've deployed Airtable AI in 4 different enterprise organizations. Train your users on AI first. You cannot just roll out Airtable AI and have them start to use it. They need to know how AI works, what prompt engineering is, how to get the best results, how to ask for what you want. I can't tell you the organizations that had the AI training first versus the ones where I rolled it out and did mini AI Airtable training, night and day usage difference. Limit your users who can access this until you understand the impact. While you can only turn it on or off for a whole base, I'd almost encourage you to have a training base with just a few people in it before you put it in your main base. If you've got 2 or more users and you turn it on for everyone, until we have individual field level security in a base, I would not allow this access to everyone. And then consider how you can make money for yourself or for your customers using it. I think there's a huge opportunity for the consulting community, for Airtable, and for our businesses that we support to do that. And then finally, obviously, come to Airtable 2024, right, Ben? For workshops, classes, and more, where we'll do hands-on stuff to actually make this work.
Round of applause for Chris. That was incredible.
Thank you. Wait, I had to pull together in 30 minutes.
There we go. And he did all of that in 30 minutes.
Well, I had a little help from Airtable AI. Oh, thank you, Alexa.
We got a comment in the Facebook group from Kelly. She said, "So awesome."
Oh, thank you, Kelly. Well, I'd love to hear if any of you are using Airtable AI, if you were in the beta, what types of things you run into, any types of questions you've had. I really can't. I think not since we got automations has there been anything this big, and I think this eclipses automations by factors, magnitudes. I think this is so much better than automations. I think from the way you're looking at Airtable positioning this, with the amount of press they got, they were in The Verge yesterday, Fast Company. They were all over the news. This is a big deal for them. And you can, if you go to LinkedIn and follow some of their employees, you'll see they're doing a lot of stuff around promoting this. But I'd love to hear from you guys. Oh, thank you, Zach. Really helpful. I appreciate you coming. Anyone else? Connor, can we summon Connor to come off of mic? I know Connor. Connor, would you?
Yes, hello.
There she is. Hey, Connor.
Hello.
What do you think? Well, first off, have you seen Airtable AI before my little best practices demo today?
I haven't started using it or really watched any other tutorials or anything on it so far. So really was just kind of getting an idea of how they've implemented it, where it plugs into those different fields.
First thoughts?
It makes sense. I mean, it seems like it's a little bit like it's intuitive so far as to where it's being used. I definitely second that it would be cool if it was able to generate scripts. That is not my know-how, quite yet. But definitely save time in other areas with formulas and things like that too.
I'm sorry to pull you off of mute. I just was like, I know Connor. I wonder what Connor thinks.
Oh yeah, no problem.
What do you think about the future of Airtable and AI? Something tells me this is a big deal for them.
I mean, I think this is going to help them empower users a lot. I think that users who felt, a lot of times I've run into people who don't realize how much formulas can do for them. And just what you could do in one formula field. But learning how to build those formulas is its own thing that feels like coding to people. And if this is no or low code for them, then they're not going to, it might be scary, it might just be scary to like start with formulas. So I think that will empower users to feel more comfortable with formulas and automations for sure.
Very cool. Very cool. Lisa, actually did a video with Lisa once. Lisa, if you're able to come off, can you come off? Did she? No, there she is. I've actually done a video with Lisa once. How are you, Lisa?
Yeah, I am fantastic. How are you? I started building more Airtable bases for other clients of mine. So it's been fantastic. I'm in real estate, so I've been doing a lot of sales tracker, business intelligence stuff. And I was like, how do I get my hands on AI? I don't have it yet, but I'm going to upgrade and get that today.
Yeah, so I think it's only in team, business, or enterprise, and I know free.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a team account, mine keep popping up asking me to upgrade. I'm like, I'm already on a team account, but it's cool stuff. I can't wait to see what you build with it. I know our one video we did together. What did we talk about? I can't remember. Do you?
We were just talking about how you built just the whole infrastructure with from your Cato table to what you do for other consultants and stuff like that. So it's been a while, but I still send it to a lot of my clients who are like, what is Airtable? How does it work for me? So it was a really good introduction to people who don't know what databases are and stuff like that. And I have my own developer now. So we're looking into other the data warehousing, things like that, trying to get off a retool. Just trying to do everything within Airtable because it can totally do what you need to run small businesses.
Very cool. Well, Liz, I hope we can get you from Denver out to New York City in the fall.
I will be there. I'm going to buy my ticket soon.
All right. Thank you. Very cool. Well, it's good seeing Lisa. I know she's done some amazing work over the years. Anyone else who might want to join and talk a little bit about their journey or maybe their fears or concerns? I know for me, that one of my biggest concerns right now is I'm already spending so much money on Airtable because I have a business account with a couple of users. And I know the AI is just because I use it hard. It's like so crazy hard every single day. So I'll show you guys another example of where I use it crazy hard every single day. In this base I showed you where I actually have a system that goes through and looks at, my entire day's logged in this Airtable. At the end of each day, it goes ahead and creates a life coach. And this life coach comes in and then talks to me about kind of how I was feeling throughout the day and gives me different areas I really need to focus on. So I had a huge falling out with my spouse on the way to a dentist appointment, tells me to work on that, and then gives me some guidance. Again, if someone would have told me that Airtable back in 2018 one day would be going through and reading my emails and analyzing the arguments I have with my spouse and then giving me recommendations, all I need now is an automation to send flowers when I really mess up. I think that would probably be the ultimate little life hack.
That would be incredible.
Cool. Well, Ben,
is that the same AI that we worked on at the conference where you could like pick which goddess to summon, or is that one?
That's the one I showed earlier with the god. So that one's been upgraded. I was using the AI using scripting. But then, and again, a lot of people, there are 3 other ways, by the way, you can use Airtable, or you can use AI in Airtable. Probably many more, or like 4, I guess, if you do it manually. But the way I originally did was I have an Airtable script that we gave away at the conference last year for everyone to use and kind of build their own kind of little apps. This is before there was an Airtable AI. The problem with that is it times out. What is it? Do you remember? It's like 20 seconds. How long scripts?
I think the script times out at 30 seconds.
30 seconds. And, you put anything more than, yes or no, and the script will time out. And I don't know. Part of me doesn't want to believe that's by design, but it feels like it. The other way you can do it with inside, or you can use Airtable, is with one of the tools. Like last year, make.com was one of our partners at the conference. They have an integration. Zapier has integration. Ben, you know how I feel about integrations. I mean, I love them. Everybody loves, there are people who live their lives are on Make and Zapier. I get it. But to me, it's just a failure point. That's all I can see it for. I don't want to manage another tool. So you can use it there. So you can do an API or a script, Make or Zapier, use it manually, or use it embedded now. So it's a lot of different ways to get more out of your data. Listen, people, at the end of the day, Airtable is nothing but piles of data. And if you're not managing those piles of data, you're really not doing anything more. You might as well have a shoebox with receipts shoved under the mattress like the Princess and the Pea. You've got to do something to turn those receipts into gold. Sorry, I slipped back in old. Shouldn't do that.
I was trying to think of other ways you could use Airtable. One way that I've used it in the past, before they released a lot of these AI features, there would be a prompt. Airtable would generate the prompt that I would use in ChatGPT. Now I could just use that as a prompt. But I feel like that's sometimes the hardest thing to dial in, is the prompt, getting the prompt right, pulling from all these different sources, all these different fields or different records of data.
Yeah, prompt engineering is a huge thing for folks. I'm not sure, I know we have a couple sessions in New York at the conference on prompt engineering, especially for Airtable. Because again, historically, when you build a prompt, you have a GPT, or either just chat, or a GPT built custom, and it knows. So when you ask it for things, it's done. But getting to that first step is kind of key. With Airtable, it's so much bigger than just having a good prompt, because you have to have a good prompt that's packed up by good process. I'm gonna say that again. You can't just have a good prompt. You have to have a good prompt that's backed up by good process. So if the output is supposed to look like X, you need to think about, do we have the process to collect that information, manage that information, summarize that information, and get it into a prompt so it can be usable? And I think a lot of people, there's kind of, like I was saying with Airtable, it's more art than science. I think a lot of people will struggle with that at first, or they'll just do dumb things like, hey, I said this and it gave me this. That's not amazing. Well, my dog can make noise, but it can't talk. And talking and noise are 2 different things. And I think prompts without process are noise. Boy, I'm on fire today. And fuego. I got a message from Greg LeBeau. Airtable's relatively new API limitation are probably going to push more people toward Airtable's own AI features versus external systems like Make, Zapier, as those require API calls. So again, this is where I really struggle, because I am a big fan of Airtable. This. I'm not one of these people. We've got a couple of people in the group who, just the first chance they get to knife the dead body, they will, how dare they? I just have to wonder sometimes of myself, some of the decisions. I mean, they're a company, they have to stay in business, but these decisions feel really purposeful. And I think Greg has something I know I've thought about. It's like, I'd be lying if I didn't. Are they making other parts of the system less accessible to get people toward this? And if that's the case, so be it. Just keep making this better and better and better. And I think it's going to be more and more people on it.
Yeah, I think Greg's will apply specifically, at least to the people on the freer team plans, because I think that's where Airtable added the API limitations. But if you're on business or enterprise, you don't necessarily have to worry as much about those.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, we haven't had I don't think we've had a video recording since I went business. I love business. You know, just access to the admin panel, just access to all little things that I call them quality of life issues, has made such a difference. Plus, when you're supporting huge clients, a good understanding of the admin panel. That's another reason we added the enterprise track to the conference this year in October in New York.
Yeah. I think one question that I've seen come up commonly with some of our enterprise clients when they want to use AI is their enterprise has certain restrictions around what data you could feed into an AI. And off the top of my head, I can't remember what Airtable's response to this. Can you use your own like token or like your own API key, for lack of a better way of saying it, to where it doesn't feed the model?
I've been told at the enterprise level, the highest level of licensing, you can. There's a lot of things you can do at that level that we can't do at the business or below. But I don't know. I was told that because I had someone ask me that.
I feel like I remember one of our clients saying that they were able to, I don't know, like self-host or like use their own OpenAI integration.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to wonder if AI is not, if parts of the AI code stack don't have Airtable AI built into them, learning from what we do. You know, just like the Apple Store apps for the longest time taught Apple what apps to build. You know, there'd be Apple TV if there wasn't a million people a day downloading Netflix. You have to wonder how much that the things we do in Airtable as part of the terms of service aren't going to be borrowed as future enhancements to Airtable itself. So
I think we may have seen that a little bit with some of the Airtable extensions.
Oh yeah.
People who made extensions, Airtable then kind of replaced some of those extensions. I know that's a sore subject for some of the developers who made extensions.
Yeah, it really is. If you are an Airtable consultant, something else I think I forgot to mention, but we'll talk about this more in our next live stream. Ben and I are going to try to do live streams pretty regularly coming up, focusing on something different every time. We actually have something new this year with the conference. If you're a consultant and you want to invite your customers, you get special discounts that aren't on the website. We also have a revenue sharing plan for customers this year if you want to invite some of your customers. So it's good. Yeah, I don't know. I hope I've been fortunate enough to know a couple people working on the AI product through my beta when sometimes I'd literally blow through all my credits by one mistake. Because like if you let's just say you make a change to one of your scripts, another Airtable quality of life best practice AI thing. So if you go in and like have it automatically generate, I'm going to go ahead and jump over into a field so you can actually watch this happen so that you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. If I go into an Airtable and I were to update a field, let's check this kind of a dumb field, and I add an AI field. One of the things I can do is, tell me more about this AP. I'm going to go ahead and grab that API description. One of the things you can do up under the cogwheel, remember the cogwheel is where you're going to get to all of your different options, right? Right now, this is just going to grab that field and go ahead and I'll go into this one, which is KPIs for membership growth. Move it over after description since I was description where I grabbed it. Now, I only have 9 records in this table, so I'm not too worried about it. But I'll show you a couple places where I've literally gotten in trouble myself. If you have a table with hundreds of records, one of the things you can do with Airtable AI is you can ask it to automatically generate records. So you can see here automatically generate. Again, which is, hey, that's great. You know, everybody loves to automatically generate. You put something in, it automatically generates it, right? Not a problem. But if you have this turned on, and you come in and make a change, so I'm saying, hey, tell me more about this KPI, pass through the description of the KPI and say, remember to say thank you at the end. Automatically, it's going to say, this is really confusing. So like, don't let it catch you off guard. Watch this video 100 times so this makes sense. It says, is this field set up to generate new content automatically? Edits to the field will generate new content and overwrite existing KPIs. This might use a large number of Airtable credits. This last line This last line is basically you having no money for summer vacation. Because if you have something with 1,000 records in it and you tell it to, and you've got it set to automatically generate, it's going to go ahead and regenerate 1,000 records. And if it's a complex one, it's going to be difficult. So in that case, you want to say, don't overwrite or overwrite, whichever one you're willing to get this to, and go ahead and make sure you're ready to deal with the fallout of that. That's one of those kind of gotchas that I guess only 6 or 7 months of using Airtable AI would really like bite you. I still worry about that. I can't tell you how many gods and goddesses I blew up asking it to regenerate prayers. Well, this has been a good session, Ben.
This has been awesome. All about Airtable AI.
Well, remember, these are your best practice. Turn down the tokens by default. Don't let it stay on level 4. So toggle that off when you set up your long field. Monitor your usage, not usable, in your admin and workspace. I'll show you where that is real quick, just in case you guys don't know. If you're on Airtable in a just regular workspace, you'll want to go to your workspace settings. I'm going to go into one of my workspaces and go up here to workspace settings. And you'll see your usage right there. So right away, I know I've already used 270 out of 1,000 this month. So I think I got 500 free because they haven't moved me, but just a few things I've done in the past 2 days, I've already burned through a quarter of my credits. If you're on the enterprise, or if you've got admin panel, you turn all of this on over in your admin panel area. Come up here and go to admin, and I think it's down under settings. Yeah, in integrations and development. So in your admin panel, to turn this on, you can turn on AI. You can allow it in all workspaces or only in some workspaces. I would suggest saying some and allow a few test ones first, and then view your usage credit. So it's going to go through and show you how many credits you've used. It won't show you on which prompts, but that's where you really have to make sure you understand and test your prompts. See how many credits you're using before you roll them out to your enterprise. I can't tell you how exciting this opportunity is, but how you really, if you're a consultant or you're an enterprise user of Airtable, these are Wild West days. So process before token usage.
Yes. Lisa said, thank you for today and see y'all at Airtable 2024. We got some other good comments that it was super helpful. Maybe we could jump in and talk about the different ways that you could get to Airtable 2024 to learn about the different, because we have the AI tracks there.
Yeah, so for the conference, there's a little bit that's a little bit different this year, but there's a lot that's the same. So just go to Airtable.com. We've got the AI and the enterprise sections new up there. Tickets just went on sale yesterday. I was shocked. We've sold as many as we have already. This year, we got a lot of feedback last year that we could only get 100 seats last year because we were at Airtable headquarters. This year, we can go to 300, but if it's like last year, we're going to sell out hopefully pretty quick. To get your ticket, you just go to Airtable.com tickets. Seats are a little bit different this year, so they're $450, $650, and $700, depending when you do it. You've got a couple months to go ahead and get your early bird pricing. This is our most competitive price for New York City at any conference we've had so far. We also have 2 new options. So we've got discount tickets. So get with your favorite consultant. You're already signed up to an Airtable consultant, one we use a lot. They should have a discount code to give you. If you don't have a consultant, Ben will be your consultant. He's got a discount code. You can do that. And if you are a consultant and you want a discount code for your users, reach out to Ben or I, and we'll get you a code. We also have, for the first time, nonprofit tickets, which is a steeply discounted price. And we have enterprise tickets. You notice this year when you go to buy your tickets, we have a new system in front working with the website where it comes in and tells you the different types of tickets. So right away, you can do a single ticket, which will be just the early bird pricing right now. With the referral code from a consultant, you'll get $50 off. You do multiple tickets at a 25% off. Plus, you want 10 tickets, you get 25%.
That's if you're nonprofit.
Nonprofit, yeah. If you're a team, not nonprofit, it's still 25%, but you've got a 5-ticket minimum. And then we've got questions about the tickets. So there's a lot going on. We have our speakers and our volunteers call for those going out very soon. So how can you get there if you can't afford to go? Like, there's that. right? So we have volunteers this year, but the first time we'll have volunteers working with us before the conference. That call will go out next week. And those people all get a ticket, and we're going to arrange some type of group housing, kind of like the Brady Bunch. I promise I wear pajamas. And that's for the volunteers. And Ben is roomed with me. Ben, am I that bad?
It was a great experience.
Yeah, I'm neat.
We had a nice Airbnb.
We had a really nice Airbnb. That's the first way. If you're a speaker, you get a free ticket, which is exciting, and you get paid. So there's two ways you can get there without paying. And of course, we have all of the discount ways too. So definitely, if you want to go, want to get involved, want to be a part of year 4, the biggest Airtable user conference on earth, definitely reach out to Ben and I. Crazy.
There's also a way, if you wanted to go for free and you're a consultant, where you could, like, there's the referral code, which you can give your customers. And I don't think we need to limit this to just consultants, because it'll also work for the different people who would want to sponsor. If you want to bring your top customers there or bring your best friends there, sit at like essentially the same table as them, then there's also a kickback if you get them to use your referral code. So it's a little bit of double dipping, where I believe there's the referral code and then there's like a commission to where it would essentially pay for your ticket.
Yeah, so we are doing profit sharing. So if you're a consultant, no matter how big you are, and you want to invite 3 of your customers or all of your customers, we are sharing the ticket pricing with you this year. Our goal with the community has been the same here in 2024 as it was in 2020 when Ben and I first met. And that's, how do we empower actual Airtable users to make more money, connect faster, and to help more people using this revolutionary tool? And whether that's just with the free help that people use every single day in Facebook, you don't have to be technical. I see more non-technical posts, whereas a lot of posts are super technical in other forums, or bringing us together in different cities from Austin to Chicago, Austin to, oh, I just slipped up on that, Austin to San Francisco to New York. We really want this community to be the biggest and most powerful use case for Airtable, just disrupting enterprises and small businesses all over, whether you're a realtor with just 3 users, or you're a small business, or you're running like me, running your family and getting in trouble for having an argument with your spouse. And Airtable AI has a stable relationship.
We'll be having more discussions about the different ways to get involved as a sponsor, speaker, consultant, table host, volunteer in the future. And we'll have some more sign up forms for that as well. So stay tuned for that. But I think for today, I'm super excited for Airtable AI.
So excited for Airtable AI. I can't wait to see what people build. I know we do an unconference every year at Airtable 2, where anyone from the audience who isn't speaking can get up for 5 minutes and show people what they're working on. I know this is going to be the year where we see some crazy fun Airtable AI. So I'm so excited.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you all for joining.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.